Things are certainly bubbling here, apparently. This just keeps bubbling or gurgling or going or stopping, moving, not moving, all beyond words. Just seeing this is just seeing all there is of itself. Steve started this a couple of years ago when he started disappearing and started looking for an explanation for the disappearing. Looked different places, ended up in Non-Duality, listened to Tony Parsons, Kenneth Madden, Jim Newman, Tim Kliss, Rose. And when the time came to ask somebody, to talk to somebody about disappearing, Emerson was giving a retreat. It was very convenient. And so Steve signed up for that. And the first meeting of that retreat was 5 in the morning or something. And Steve asked the first question of the morning, which was, what's all this disappearing all about? And Emerson said, absence, emptiness. Actually, it was emptiness and fullness, which didn't make a lot of sense at the time. But it started something that's kept happening ever since that retreat and a second retreat and a couple of one-on-ones. Things have just kept bubbling. Sometimes the bubbles pop. Sometimes there is popping. And all along, things seem to get clearer somehow. So that's a bit of a story there. And Steve just keeps seeing. And somehow it's not Steve anymore. It's just seeing. And seeing what the seeing is doing. And the seeing is doing what it's doing. All the time. It's all seeing, seeing. Thought, the thought that was Steve, the thought that created Steve and lived a life of Steve is seen as nothing, just bubbling, more bubbling. This is seen as everything. Everything that's always been here and always will be here. The infinite everything that thought can't see, that thought obscures, that thought hopes for, looks for, seeks for, the infinite connection. That thought can't understand, can't touch, and can't be. Thought is part of all there is a creation of all there is that stands in the way of all there is, that can't see all there is. It's not thought that sees any of it. And that thought can't get there. It can't see. It can't, just can't do it. And it is there the whole time thought tries to do it. And thought has become so strong or so dominant or so persistent that even when it looks for other possibilities for itself, just the looking is a thought. Just the desire is a thought. So often the seeing is seen when thought stops. Somehow it's seen between the thought, between thought and no thought, between past and future, between self and no self, between me and no me. The between, somehow thought cannot be in the between. It has to be in the present. And when it is, the present is actually seen as past or future. Immediately when thought is in the present, it's either in the past or the future. It can't be in the moment. It's always looking for the next thing where it can be, where it can sit comfortably and think. Sometimes it's helpful to talk to someone in a one-on-one, someone that can talk the between. The moment. It's not past or future. It's not thought.